Alrighty, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Auger DMR, which is, I think, one of the most forgotten weapons in the game currently, especially with the brand new Stingray being added. A lot of times people are gravitating towards that. But with all the recent nerfs to the Stingray, I think that elevated the Auger DMR back to being the #1 tactical rifle in the game and maybe the top 3 weapons in the entire game as well. So I actually have 2 different gameplays for you along with the 2 different class setups I'm going to be talking about, one with and one without the operator mod, because when you use the weapon with the operator mod, it is definitely stronger, but it's a lot less forgiving if you miss your shot. So if you enjoy the video, hit the like button, and if you want to find your way back because you like the content or the class setups, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. So the best double tap Auger DMR best class setup is going to be the reflex sight with high cal 1, high cal 2, and that double tap operator mod. And since the Auger DMR isn't really a run and gun type weapon, I'd highly recommend going with the ComSec device or the acoustic sensor. And for perk 1, I'd run flak jacket or scavenger, perk 2, dexterity or gung ho. So for those of you that don't quite understand how the Auger DMR works, if you're using that double tap operator mod, 2 bullets will come out faster than you can possibly pull the trigger with the Auger DMR without the operator mod, but the overall fire rate will be reduced. And even though that's a minor change, it makes it very unforgiving when you get into those scenarios where you're running up against 2 or even 3 people, because it becomes even more important to make sure you get those 1 burst kills, which require you to hit the chest or above. So let's go ahead and break down this gameplay, and then we'll jump into another best class setup and break down that gameplay so you have a good idea how you utilize these weapons depending on which route you decide to go. So right now I'm heavily pushing through the spawn because I have a teammate that is AFK in my spawn, and this is to force flip him. I have to purposely go throughout the spawn because if I stay a little bit too far out, they're going to continually flood me, and my teammates aren't there to backfill. It's going to be very difficult for me to stay on my streak. And that's why I was fairly skeptical about the spawns actually flipping. You can see kind of how the positioning is. Looks like my teammate just spawned in. That's the guy who's AFKing, just spamming the weapon, meleeing, jumping, or whatever the heck they're doing to not get kicked. And then now I'm coming around this right side. I end up spotting the guy. I'm not sure if he ended up spotting me. I thought he was going to jump up. I kind of creep out, and then I go ahead and slide out. Looks like he got there, and then I go ahead and pretty much take him out. Based on the UAV passes, you could tell that a lot of people have ghosts, so you got to be a little bit more cautious. You can see how I was kind of centered right there, so I was able to line up the target, take him out pretty easily, and then I'm cycling on to my next set of streaks. I was only able to get the sniper's nest at the beginning of this first match, but then I was able to chain a few more kills together. Right here, I'm pre-aiming that spawn, expecting someone to be there, and then I throw my ammo bag. For 2 different reasons I throw it in that location. One is obviously my teammates, if they spawn in, they can go ahead and grab it. And then if the enemy players spawn in, they'll often destroy it, which will give away their position. I was able to pre-aim and take that enemy player out as they were coming up the stairs because I saw them on the minimap. Pushing back towards my teammates, it looked like the enemies are spawning on a little bit both sides of the map, so it's kind of a little bit weird. I did call my thresher, I called in another sniper's nest, and I'm kind of coming around this right side, expecting people to run by. If I can land a chest shot or above, I'm going to get a 1-shot kill. Looks like I was able to tag him with 1 bullet, but it wasn't enough to finish him off. And now what I'm doing is trying to rotate back up, and luckily because of the timing, my teammate calls in their specialist ability, and I'm able to see the guy through the wall as he comes up. Now I have my strike team, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good position, and since I know that the enemies are going to be flooding indoors because of the thresher as well as the sniper's nest, I feel pretty confident I can kind of hang out on the outside of the map, because more often than not, they're not going to just be standing out there. I can see the guys coming through. I land a shot there, thresher takes him out, then I'm able to take out the other guy. I'm moving through here. I can see there's a ton of teammates. Teammates took out a guy that was up top, and then now I can see that the spawns are flipping back around. And I think this has a lot to do with my teammate that is AFK anchoring the spawn so hard, it's forcing the enemy team to continue to spawn in this back area where it's not necessarily safe. So you can see I'm kind of just angling myself so I could take out these guys as they're coming out of spawn, hoping that they eventually flip, and I can see that they all spawn mid-map. I'm able to obviously pre-aim, take this guy out, and then my teammates take out those other 2 guys, and it still looks like the enemies are spawning in this back area. Luckily my strike team's back there, a lot of them are back there. I'm just kind of pre-firing, see if I can hit anybody, and it looked like my strike team's able to clean up everyone that was back there. And then I'm just kind of locking down the stairs. Even though there's a ton of teammates here, I'm not 100% sure the spawns have flipped. And then you can see that someone's coming down, my teammate's able to take that guy out. Then I reposition, I'm able to take this guy out, and I'm expecting the other guy to run through, but my teammate's able to clear him up. So we kind of got some good map control here. Kind of out of whack because the teammate that is AFK way back in the spawn, which you can see on the mini map, I'm just kind of waiting for this guy to come through. Seeing if he's going to come through. That's his only outlet, so I'm kind of covering that back end, and that pretty much ends up being the match. Only 1 guy left, ends up getting taken out by my strike team. Go 44-2. Now let's go ahead and jump into the regular best class setup for the Auger DMR that I actually think is a slightly better one than the other one, as I'll break down as I go throughout the gameplay. I started this match off 5-4, and I'm not going to die for the rest of the match. I've already skipped ahead, so I go on my streak. You'll kind of see how that plays out. So the main change to the class setup is running FMJ instead of the operator mod, and with the extra perk slot I ended up running with Ghost, but you could easily run with Dead Silence. So let's talk about why I use FMJ as an attachment, because there are other good attachments, especially for the hipfire. You can use laser sight. If you want to reload faster, you can use fast mags. But the reason I use FMJ is actually for two different reasons. One is for the enemies that are going to wear body armor, so I continually can have that 2-shot kill with the chest and above. And also so I can have a little bit more confidence when I'm shooting through cover, because if you guys didn't know, almost half the weapons in the game do not have FMJ. So it definitely becomes very valuable, especially when you know how to shoot through certain objects over others. So in terms of the gameplay, what I'm doing in the moment right now is I'm trying to sit in the enemy spawn, not so deep that it flips, but I'm waiting for that UAV to pass, because once it passes, I'm going to go ahead and try and go for the flank. Unfortunately, the guy was staring right at me, so it wasn't the best move, but I'm able to take out his teammate and then go ahead and get out of there. Knowing that the enemies will continue to spawn there, I'm already just playing my life. I got my thresher, I got my sniper's nest, and I'm less than 50 off the strike team. So all I got to do is just position myself, maybe get an easy kill here or there, and see what the enemy team's doing. You can see my teammates moving around the right side. He's getting flanked. But I did see someone upstairs kind of pushing out, and I'm taking this guy out, and then I just kind of pre-aim and see what's going on up top, because it looks like someone's up there. I peek behind me really quick just to see what's going on, and then I'm able to pre-aim knowing that this guy's going to be coming around the corner, because more than likely that's what's going to happen. The UAV shows he's coming around. Pre-aim it, able to take him out. I 2-tap him, come out, end up taking him out. I know there's another one. It looks like enemy left the game as soon as I called in my streaks. And you can see the angle this guy is taking. It looks like he's going up top, but I don't know what the guy has. He could have a shotgun or whatever the case is. So I play that patiently. My strike team comes through and takes that guy out. And now we're able to push through. Pretty confident that these are the spawns, so I got to start rotating back to the other side. You can see there's a couple people on this left side, kind of in this area, so I'm just pre-aiming it. And as my strike team comes through, it looks like they're rushing right towards where that guy's at. It looks like they're going to end up taking him out. I rotate back because it looks like a lot of people just spawned in, and they're going to have a kind of a wonky spawn, because my teammate was sitting in the spawn and my other teammates are kind of on the other side. So the spawn is kind of a split spawn right now. You got to be kind of aware where they're likely to spawn, which is kind of where I'm pre-aiming. I take that guy out, I tap him twice. So a pretty straightforward kill, but this is not a comfortable spawn for me. I can see my teammate coming up this way. I'm not really trusting what's going on. Thinking the guy's going to come from the bottom, but easily the guy can come from the top. But so I am able to have a better position. I kind of slide out of the way just so I could take a better angle. Obviously, from where I was at, I'm kind of cornered. If I'm getting shot, all I can do is lay prone, and odds are from that angle they'll be able to hit me in the foot. That's kind of why I backed off. You don't really sit on that head glitch too often unless you know your back out is pretty clear. So I'm pushing forward again. It looks like the Mantis is taking care of business. The strike team's taking care of business. Just kind of pre-aiming. I can see my teammates spawn in the little side room here. Now I'm going to start rotating back to the other side. And because of good timing, I'm able to take out that guy with body armor. Pushing through, and then I go ahead and decide to rush back towards middle, where I do see the enemy player popping up. I got all my teammates in the middle of the map. Guy is demolishing with the Vendetta. He's got his own sniper's nest. He has his own Mantis. So because of the streaks that I started getting in the beginning, that kind of led to my teammate going off as well. So even though the match was basically tied when we got to the start of this match, I was kind of going negative a little bit. I was 5-4. I was able to turn it around, and a lot of the game is about momentum. Once you call in those first set of streaks, you guys saw it played out here. A 3-man party on the enemy team all left simultaneously the second that strike team and thresher came in. So what you could see going on in the background is that even though the map is fairly dominant, like we're just taking over the lobby, we're up by 50 points or whatever the case is, that's not really the part to be concerned about. Look at how I'm reading the minimap. I'm kind of pre-aiming where the enemy's going to be coming through. I know there's another one in there, and I just kind of wait to see what's going on. I know there's probably going to be someone up top on the left, but my teammate's kind of camping back there. And because of that one teammate in the east spawns, it makes the spawns very unpredictable. You can see him just sitting there in the corner on the minimap. He really hasn't moved. I wasn't sure if the guy died there by the Mantis, so I was kind of pre-aiming as it came around the corner. And now you can see we still kind of have an awkward spawn. Looks like the enemies are spawning in this left side and kind of walking through this closed area. That's kind of why it's a little bit harder to find people, and some of that has to do with streaks. You're kind of forcing the enemy players to navigate through a certain area. You see a guy end up popping around that side, but now you can see I'm able to snap on, take this guy out. He popped out the ballistic knife. I don't know if he was trying to be annoying or what, but he missed his shots and he wasn't able to melee me. Already on a ruthless streak, nothing crazy here. Kind of a little bit slower start to the match, but once you get rolling, the ball just gets rolling. And now all I'm doing is trying to just pre-aim the areas I know where enemies are going to be. For the most part, I'm standing in a spot that I wouldn't normally like to be in, but I'm here just because of how teammates are positioned and where the enemies are expected to be. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're brand new to the channel and you'd like to find your way back because you like the Call of Duty content, make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications on. We did just hit 97,000 subscribers on the channel, so I appreciate all the support in reaching that milestone. I know we're only 3K away from 100,000, so if you did enjoy the content, definitely make sure you do subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. As always, have a great day.